Hello, everybody. My name is Judy Laible, and I have been with the Scleroderma Foundation as a support group leader for quite a length of time now. I'm not totally sure when I started, but it would have been after the first walk, which was back in 2011. So it's been a long time. My journey with scleroderma, the disease, started way back. And I think, like a lot of people, particularly of my older generation, had a hard time getting diagnosed. So I was in Wyoming at the time when I started getting a lot of weird symptoms. Well, I'd been diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome for a long time, IBS. And so I knew I had some, those issues. Then I had a lot of pain issues, which were totally unexplainable, particularly foot pain. And I did the rounds of foot doctors and came down even to Colorado to see foot doctors because my daughter was living down here. And never got a very good answer on that. And then I had a lot of pain in my hands. Put that down to doing a lot of typing at the time. But and then I started, of course, getting the Raynaud's. Anyway, long story short, eventually my husband and I, we retired down to Colorado back in 2001. And subsequently, I started seeing doctors down here in northern Colorado. Finally, one doctor said to me, let's do an ANA test. So she did, and of course, I was very, very high. So she sent me to a rheumatologist. And I started seeing a rheumatologist. He was not sure what was going on initially. Then I ended up going down to Denver after a referral from my primary care and saw a doctor down there and finally got diagnosed in 2003 with scleroderma. And I have the anti-centromere version of limited scleroderma, which limited is a little bit confusing because it's not limited, it's still systemic. And I have a lot of issues to do with my digestive system, the Raynaud's, of course, which is very annoying. And I've had a lot of different pains, aches and pains. How much, as you get older is attributable to scleroderma and how much is scleroderma, I'm not sure. However, one of my doctors said at one point, no, this is not old age, Judy, it's scleroderma. So that's sort of my journey on that. I do have some lung issues. I have a little bit of interstitial lung disease, but it's fairly stable. And on the whole, I do pretty well compared to a lot of patients. So I've been extremely lucky, and I consider myself extremely lucky with my journey compared with some of the youngsters I see who I feel as a support group leader, I'm very attached to, and I hope give them some good support. So I started out with the Scleroderma Foundation when we had the first walk here in northern Colorado. What happened is I got an email from the Scleroderma Foundation, and they were requesting volunteers. And I thought, well, this sounds like something I would like to get involved in. So that is what I did. I volunteered for the walk and served on the committee. We had a very successful first walk here in Fort Collins. And obviously what came out of that is we need more. And so we started looking at forming a support group. It was not just me at that time. There were several of us involved. And the first thing was to find a location, which is not an easy thing. That took a lot of time, and we changed locations several times. And we didn't have very many people show up at first, but we persevered, and we gradually built the group. And then I sort of took over as the leader. And it's just kind of grown from there. Some people we see regularly, and some people come and get what they need and sort of move on, which is great. My whole mission in this is, I think, education and information. Obviously, the Scleroderma Foundation, part of that is education, and I'm extremely grateful to them for all the education opportunities that I've had. Learning about this disease, actually, to me, is fascinating. And interacting with all the people involved has been wonderful. And if I can share a little bit of that with people in our group, and also give them the correct information and some support, I feel like I'm doing my job. Well, since we have started the group, one thing that we have noticed and that has been interesting is the number of people that we've connected with in other states. We have several people come down from Wyoming. I've also had a lady come down from Nebraska. So it's become obvious to us that there's a lot of need out there around us for support and for more information about scleroderma. So I think that is something that we really are looking at and moving towards, and I think that's really great. I love being able to know that we can really share that information across the states and across actually everywhere. And one thing I wanted to mention is, as far as information, is I've had the opportunity over the years to attend many of the Scleroderma national conferences. Those are such wonderful events and have been such a blessing to meet everybody across the country and even across the world who's involved in scleroderma. So that has been something that I really try and make sure that if we can, people know about, because it is so important to everybody to learn more, and to meet with those people that are working on this is just wonderful. I hope that as I move forward here, and that we move forward with COVID and can change how things are dealt, meetings are dealt with, that we can continue to reach out to everybody. It has been, Zoom meetings have been different, but they've also been great as far as involving people who would not normally be able to attend a meeting. I am looking forward to getting back to in-person meetings, and I think everybody is. But in the meantime, we still have Zoom meetings, and I would love to invite anybody who has an interest in scleroderma, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a patient. Maybe you're a friend of a patient or a family member of a patient, or a support group person of a patient, to join us. We have our next support group meeting on April 24th at 10 a.m. in the morning. And I don't have a speaker for this meeting, but I'm planning some things for this meeting, I think, so that we can, everybody can share what's going on, and we can get some good conversation going. So I look forward to seeing people on the next Zoom meeting. Thank you so much.